Hey folks, I'm that Literary Lady, and today is Thursday, May the 16th, and it's time for Literary Tip Thursday. Today we're going to touch on part 3 of how to get your book published in 2013. The first week we talked about just getting everything out on paper, getting it out of your head and writing it down. The second week we talked about setting writing goals, whether that's 2 hours a day or 1,500 words a day. And as explained last week, we're going to talk this week a little bit more extensively about ISBN numbers, LCCN numbers, and how to establish your own publishing company so that you can self-publish and retain the rights to your work and also retain all of your royalties. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with ISBN numbers and we will go from there. Start with ISBN numbers. Now, in order to publish a book, you must have an ISBN number. That is the identifier for your book in the publishing industry. Now, people have come to me and said, well, I have an ISBN number that I purchased from a friend or another publisher, or I'm going to use one of Amazon's ISBN numbers. I want to say, please don't do that. And this is nothing against Amazon or anyone else. When you purchase an ISBN number from someone else that is not affiliated with your company or in your company name, you may give away most or all of your rights to your work, and you give away some of your royalties, if not, a good portion of your royalties. It's very important that if you're going to self-publish, and remember, I'm talking to self-published authors here. I'm not talking to traditional publishers, because a publishing company like Simon & Schuster and Hachette will assign you an ISBN number. That's part of their contract with you. It will show them as the publisher and you as the author. However, if you're self-publishing, which is what we're talking about today, you will establish a publishing company under your name, which we'll talk about last here, and your ISBN numbers will be purchased under that name, which means your publishing company is the publisher of that book. So again, it's really up to you. It's your choice, but I really, really, really highly suggest that you purchase your own ISBN numbers. Now, before we go to the website here, Boker.com, which you see right here, I want to explain that they do have an option where you can buy one ISBN number, and they have an option where you can purchase 10 ISBN numbers. Let me be very blunt. Please don't be cheap. And I'll tell you why I say that. It's not to be mean or anything, but one ISBN number from Boker, which is the company, the leading company that issues ISBN numbers. I think they're probably the only one, and if there's another one that does issue ISBN numbers, I think they still go through Boker. At any rate, one ISBN number through Boker is $125. 10 ISBN numbers through Boker is $250. And you're thinking, wow, $125 sounds a lot cheaper than $250. Well, again, I wasn't a math major, I was an English major, but you do the math. 1 for $125, 10 for $250. Well, you might think, well, why will I need 10 ISBN numbers? Okay, let me break it down to you. Let's say you decide to publish a book. You want to publish an edition in paperback. You want to do an edition in hardback. You want to do an edition in ebook. You want to do an edition in audiobook. Every type of book has to have its own ISBN number. So if you have a book titled Running Through the Dandelions in paperback, in hard copy, in audiobook, in ebook, each format, even though it's the same title, the same information, it still has to have its own ISBN number. Now, another point is, let's say you don't want Running Through the Dandelions in several formats. Let's say you want to publish 4 or 5 books. Well, wouldn't it be more smarter to buy 10 at $250? You have 10 ISBN numbers at your disposal, and you can do 4 books, and you've already paid for them, as opposed to deciding in 2013 you want to publish a book, and you pay $125. Then here comes 2014, you want to publish another book, so you go back and buy another ISBN number for $125. Then 2015, you want to do another, which is another $125. And we'll stop there because with just 3 ISBN numbers separately, that's $375, folks. Okay. So, and if you want to do a different format, you have to go back out and buy yet another ISBN number. So, please, again, do not be cheap. Buy your ISBN numbers in bulks of 10. And I actually think that you can actually buy them more than that. So if you have a little money to spare, you have some money sitting in savings, and you know you're going to be writing books. I know people who are just cranking books out just like that. Although Zane is under Simon & Schuster, she had her own publishing company when she first started. Zane was putting out a book every week. And that's a little bit exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. She had a book coming out. There had to be at least 2 or 3 a year that she had coming out. So she knew she was going to be writing books. That's a lot of ISBN numbers. So you can buy them in bulks of 100 or whatever the case may be. Another example is a fellow writer, Angelia Minchan. She self-publishes, and she seems like she really puts out a book a month. So I'm sure she purchased her ISBN numbers in bulk. So again, the thing that we want to remember here is buy them in bulk. Do not buy a separate ISBN number, and do not buy them from anyone but Boker, and don't buy them in any other format than under your own publishing company, which we'll talk about a little bit later here. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Boker.com. And when you go to Boker.com, you'll come to this site here. Now, bear with me here as I go through the motions because I buy my ISBN numbers in bulk. So I've had mine for a while. I have quite a few. So, and I already have an account with Boker. So I'll go with you as far as I can, but it's very, very easy to set up an account with Boker and get your ISBN numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me go here. Get your ISBN today there. Go ahead and click on that. And you can read this page here. Yes, you can see here, buy 1 for $125, buy 10 for $250, 100 for $575, or 1,000 for $1,000. That seems like that's the best deal. If you have $1,000 that you can spare, you can get out of savings, and you know you're going to write lots of books in different formats, this is probably the way to go here. But if you want to start out, this is what I start out with here. And then I move down to this section here. But at any rate, decide which ones you want to purchase. So let's just say we want to do 250. You go ahead and click on that. And again, like I said, I have, I don't want to add that to my cart because I already have some. So you go here and they add them to your cart, and here are some other options here. You can buy barcodes, you can buy QR Plus and things, Boker Self-Publisher Prime. You can go back later and read all that stuff. Right now, this is not the purpose of the video. It's to purchase the ISBN numbers. So once you purchase whatever you want, whatever in your basket, it shows here what's in your basket. You go to the billing information. They ask for your credit card like any other website. They ask for your information here. You review your order and you complete your purchase. Okay, you'll get an email saying that you welcome to Boker, and of course the typical email with your username, and store this email in a safe location, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and log in since I have already created an account. Now, once you log in, you have your profile. And I blocked out my stuff because it's none of your business. So I would say go to my profile first and fill out your profile information. It's going to ask for your username, email address, phone number. You can You can fill out all your information here. Username, telephone number, password, confirm password. You can go to my profile. And here, there's actually somewhere here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, once you fill out your profile, go up here where it says My Identifiers. And here you're going to see a list of all the ISBN numbers that you've purchased. Now, I'm going to use one that I just did, which is Flagship Cove, and the ISBN number. And once you fill it, let's go ahead and I'm going to go down to the bottom here first before I tell you all that. So let's say your first book, Running Through the Dandelions. You're going to assign this title. So we're going to click on one of the yellow boxes. The yellow boxes mean that these ISBN numbers are not assigned. And why is it not working for me? Okay, we have a problem, Houston. ISBN numbers. Assigned title. Okay, something's not working right here. Okay, just a second. I'll be right back after I figure out what's going on here. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what the problem was. It could be my browser or something. It could be Camtasia. I'm using Camtasia to record this video, and sometimes it takes up a lot of memory. But anyway, go ahead and click on Assign Title. And you're going to fill all the details in here. The title, subtitle, main description, all that information. And I'm not going to go any further with you. As you can see there, it says upload cover image, upload your book, textbook, and all that kind of stuff. Save and go to the contributor. So you just basically go through the motions, answer all the questions, and so on. But that's how you assign one of your books. Now, once you assign a book an ISBN number, you'll know it. Sometimes it's kind of hard keeping up with those ISBN numbers to know which one you use for which book or which format. Once you do this assigning in Boker, it's going to show you, and I'll again use this one here since this is my latest release here. It shows 27 Flagship Cove, and it shows the ISBN number, and it shows that this particular one is in paperback. So that's how you'll keep track of your ISBN numbers, and it goes down the list. And if there are no ISBN numbers assigned, it'll say Assigned Title in the yellow box. Another thing that I want to show you guys is, there was something else. Manage my prescriptions. I always get that word wrong. Subscriptions, prescriptions. Okay. I'm not going to go through all this. You can go through this website. Boker, they have a lot of tools that you can use, and I really suggest or recommend that you use them. Go through, read it. View inside widgets. You can do the QR, which is a QR code, sell books online, book publicity, market your book, and a whole lot of other things. So go ahead and utilize this particular book here. This website here. Now, I'm going to go a little bit against what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do the creating your self-publishing business on your own. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that next, because in order to apply for a ISBN number or a set of ISBN numbers, you're going to need your publishing company established already. And the same thing goes for the pre-assigned control number, which is your which is your LCCN number. And in order to do that, again, you're going to need a business name. So let's stop this for here right now. And let's go to, or let's talk about, let's stop right here and let's talk about how to establish your own company. Now, it's fairly simple to set up your own publishing company. Those of you who already probably own your own business can probably use that business name as your publishing company, or you can use another business name under that umbrella. However you decide, it's really easy. I'll give you an example. I have a company called Literary Wonders, And under Literary Wonders is, actually, I'm sorry, it's Literary Wonders Media Group. And under Literary Wonders Media Group, which is short LW Media Group, is Literary Wonders Kids, Bryant Consulting, Yolanda M. Johnson, and That Literary Lady. Well, each of those different company names have a different establishment. So for the publishing side, I use LW Media Group because I don't want to commingle too much of everything together. I don't want to commingle LW Media Group with Bryant Consulting because LW Media Group is basically the company that I use to publish my books, whereas Bryant Consulting is my actual bread and butter. That's the services that I provide to other people, like marketing and editing, ghostwriting, and things like that. So I don't want to have that all under the same company for several reasons, including tax purposes. So LW Media Group is the company I created to publish my books. So what I did was I called the IRS, and you can just go to irs.com and get the 800 number. Call them and tell them that you want to set up either a sole proprietorship or an LLC or corporation. Now, for me, I initially set up a sole proprietor. So it's so easy. I did it over the phone. The lady gave me my EIN, which you may not ever use over the phone, but it established me with the IRS as a company. Next, I had to go down to the Records and Deeds office at the county courthouse and do what we call a DBA, doing business as a fictitious business name. And once I did that, I had to decide if I was going to do it sole proprietorship or LLC or corporation. Now, I won't get too deep into those three. I will only say that with the sole proprietorship, that means it's just you, maybe one more other person in the company, and you will claim any proceeds from the sales of your books or whatever through your personal income tax. An LLC basically says you want to separate your business from your personal income tax. So you will file a business income tax and you will file a personal income tax. And there are some cases where you can claim the LLC on your personal, but I'm not a tax consultant, so don't look to me for any tax advice. I do my own taxes, but I don't give out tax advice because I never want to give you the wrong information on taxes and have that, turn your life upside down. But seek a tax consultant if you have one. But in a corporation, of course, we obviously know what a corporation is, basically. In each one of them has a different level of liability. So, for example, if someone wanted to come and sue you, so let's say with the LW Media Group, I used to publish other authors. I don't do that anymore. I teach authors how to publish their own work now. But let's just say I was still publishing authors, and an author decided they wanted to come and sue me. With the sole proprietorship, they can sue me personally, and everything that's attached to me personally, they can attach. For example, they can attach my wages, they can attach or put a lien on my mortgage, they can attach banking accounts and things like that. Whereas an LLC, depending on what kind you establish, they can only take what you have established in your business in the LLC. Corporation goes a little bit beyond that. I'm not going to even get into that. But you have to decide which one you want, because this is how your assumed name certificate is going to read. Now, there are more implications in starting a business, and they all depend on what state you're living in, what county you're living in. It would just basically be wise to, one, start by going online and researching your county and your state, and just researching the process, period. And then also going down to your courthouse, your city courthouse, and finding out what you need to have a business in that state, whether, your assumed certificate, your sales tax license. And here in the state of North Carolina, I guarantee you, if you don't report it, they will find out because I moved here from Texas and I didn't transfer my business over in a proper amount of time. And they found me, so I got that corrected. But at any rate, just make sure that you're handling everything legally. So you're not, when you come down the line to pay your taxes, you're not paying, up the gazoo for taxes that you could have paid, or fines that could have been prevented. Okay, I'm rambling, but anyway, again, I'm not a tax expert, but make sure all your paperwork is in order. Go online to your state or your county and find out how you establish a business in that state and in that county and in that city, because some of them may have different laws for each level of government. So find that out. Once you do that, they will send you all the proper paperwork to say that, okay, you're legal now. You are officially a business in the state of wherever you are. Okay, once you do that, that's when you want to go back to Boger.com and purchase those ISBN numbers, because they're going to ask you for your business name and that business name. So, for example, if your name is Anna McDonald and you want your publishing company to be McDonald's Press, that's a good name. That is going to be the publishing company that is going to be associated with all the books that you publish under those ISBN numbers that you purchase under that name. And the same thing is going to go for your LCCN number, because they're going to ask you for the same thing. So again, I won't get too deep into it. It's your responsibility to go online and research and call and visit the appropriate people to make sure that you have everything covered. But it's really easy to do. I think the hardest part of the process is deciding whether you want to do an LLC, sole proprietor, or a corporation. Sole proprietor is pretty much free. You go down and you pay $25, at least I did for my certificate, and my sales tax license, I believe, was $75 or something like that. But it's going to, again, vary in your state. Now, when you get involved in LLCs, there's a lot more detailed paperwork that you have to fill out, and you have to pay a lot more money. Sometimes you can get it on LegalZoom for about $100 plus whatever the state or county or city fee is in your state. So, okay, let's get off of that and let's go back to now do the LCCN numbers. We've already done the ISBN numbers, and we just talked about how to establish your business, which is pretty easy. So let's go ahead and go back to LCCNs, and for that you're going to visit the Library of Congress. Okay, what you're going to do is come to this address here, which is www.loc.gov/publish/PCN/. Now, this is all part of the Library of Congress, but they have so many different departments that you can get lost if you're looking for looking to apply for an LCCN number. And of course, they don't necessarily call it a LCCN number on their website. They call it a pre-assigned control number program, which is a PACN. Okay, I already have an account, but to start, you have to go here to open an account. Okay, let me remember I new account. I already have one, so I have to figure out why. Okay, here we go. Application to participate. So you're going to click there, and you're going to fill out all this information. Publishing house is the publishing company that you established. Like I was saying, McDonald Publishing. All the information here. Now, I want to say this. In the process of starting your own business, I would say go get a P.O. box unless you feel comfortable using your home as a point of contact and address for your publishing company. If you have your own office space, that's great. That's a good thing to use. But the post office has it where you can either use the P.O. box, but now they have it where if you're a good standing customer, you can use their street address and use your box number as your suite number. And it looks like an address, because even though you see here it asks for street or P.O. box, somewhere in the process, and I don't want to keep going because I have to fill this all out, it's going to ask for an actual street address. So keep all that in mind. Go ahead and fill out all this information. Hit submit. It'll come to another page and ask you for some more information. And once you're done and you hit submit, it'll tell you your application is being processed. Now, my particular PCN liaison is what they call them, liaison person, is pretty fast in getting back with me. So let's say I did it on a Monday morning. By Monday at noon, she had sent me an email back. Now, I can't guarantee you that your liaison would be that fast, but mine I've had for the last few years. So anyway, she'll send you an email. You'll get one email saying, we received your application. We are reviewing your files, yada, yada, yada. And then maybe by 4 o'clock, she sent me another email saying, here's your LCCN number with instructions on how to place it in the book. It has to be placed in the book in a certain location on a certain page. And again, that's fairly easy. Back here, you see where you have your login. So if you want to go back in and check the status or whatever the case may be, you can go in. Now, I will say this. Their passwords are kind of tricky. So once you get in, make sure you change it to a password that you can remember, or you can keep the same password that you had. But I would suggest change it because I've had to email my liaison several times and ask her for my my password. So once you get all that information, they'll give you, let's see if I can sign on. I probably forgot my password. Yeah, I forgot my password. Any rate, they'll give you your account number and your password, and you sign on, and that's how you control your LCCN numbers. And later on in this process of getting your book published in 2013, we'll talk about the LCCN numbers, the importance of the LCCN numbers, and why a lot of authors use them. But for now, I'm going to stop there, and we're going to go ahead and recap what we've talked about. So, we talked about ISBN numbers, LCCN numbers, and how to establish your own publishing company. And I apologize for doing that backwards. It's been a long day. And I do that often. I don't know why, because the first thing you think of when publishing a book is ISBN numbers. But at any rate, do it opposite of what I just taught you, basically. Start your business first. Establish and I will give these tips to you real quickly here. Establish a P.O. box for your business address. Think of a business name. Also, a business phone number. If you don't want business people associated to with your company, especially if you work from home, calling your home number all the time or calling your cell phone number, running up your cell minutes, get a Google number. Google Voice. Go to Google Voice or Google Voice. You can get a phone number, and I won't even go into it. That phone number is awesome. That you can read up on it at your own leisure. But get a phone number, get a P.O. box, decide if you want to do sole proprietorship, LLC, or corporation. From that point on, call the IRS, establish your business with the as a tax entity. They will give you your tax ID number over the phone. Then fill out the paperwork according to your state, county, or city, however it's done in your state. Here in North Carolina, it's done at the state and the county level. I had to fill out paperwork and then go down to the appropriate office at your courthouse and fill out the paperwork, pay the fee to get your assumed name. If you're going to do an LLC, make sure you can do it yourself. LegalZoom can do it for you, or you can hire an attorney to do it for you. Get that done first. And then pay your sales taxes if you have to, if you're going to be selling something, which, of course, in this case, you're going to be selling stuff. Because if you sell books via Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whatever, you're going to get a 1099 at the end of each year. So the IRS is going to know that. So go ahead and just save yourself some trouble. Go ahead and apply for your sales tax license, pay the appropriate fee, and go ahead and get that started. Once you do that, go to Boker.com and get your ISBN numbers. And what did I say? Buy 10 at least, not one. Buy them in bulk. Don't just buy one. Do that. Establish your ISBN numbers. Assign your books to your ISBN numbers. Apply for your Library of Congress number, which can be found at the Library of Congress website, PCN. Now, I will say this. Do not wait until the last minute to do this. You can do this now, although I don't want you to be too distracted or too stressed out with thinking about, oh, I got to get my ISBN number. I got to get my LCCN number. The whole thing was to get you to start writing. This particular session here was basically for people who said, okay, I want to do it. I don't know where to start, or I can't write, or I get writer's block, whatever the case may be. The whole purpose was to start to get things on paper and start writing. However, depending on how fast you write, how fast your editing process is, you may get done faster than most people. But want to make sure to keep in the back of your mind, these are some things that have to be done. And some things can be done at a fast pace. Like, again, that LCCN number, you can pretty much get one in anywhere from 12 to 72 business hours. It may take longer, but it's never taken me that long at all. ISBN numbers are instant. However, trying to establish that business information, the license, the assumed name and all that before you even get your ISBN numbers and your LCCN numbers can take some time out of your busy schedule. So go ahead, if you have time to do that in between your writing, go ahead and do that. So that way when you come to the end, it won't be a matter of, well, I can't get my book out because I have to wait for this to happen, because you'll already have that done. So again, we talked about setting up your own publishing company, setting up your ISBN numbers, and setting up your LCCN numbers. Now, I hope you're still writing. Continue to write. Continue to follow those writing goals that you set, whether it be 2 hours a day or 1,500 words a day. Continue with those goals. Next week, we'll talk about the very, very importance of editing your work, meaning hiring a professional, qualified editor to do your work. I do not suggest you edit your own work at all. Proofreading is one thing, but editing your work is a different thing. Trust me, I know firsthand on editing disasters. So I will use my my experiences to share with you the reasons why you should really hire a professional editor and not try to go about it yourself, and not hire your sister because she's your sister and she'll do it for free. We're going to talk about editing next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is part 3 of publishing that book in 2013. I'm that literary lady, and this has been Literary Tip Thursday. I'll see you all next week. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.